Thank you so much to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Hi! I think you guys are on my bad side. Should I turn? I kind of don't care. Okay, today we're going to be ranking my yearly trend predictions. I want to go through and see if any of my trend predictions were right, wrong, forgotten, whatever. So let's do it. Okay, so we're going to start with my 2025 spring trends. So going as far back as we can in the 2025 trends. Okay, the first one is skinny belts, which I'm very confused by. I still feel like we're seeing thicker belts, especially with like cinching in the waist of coats and blazers, even like tops and dresses. I feel like it's just a thicker belt. A skinny belt, I have worn them since making this trend video with like a dress. I just don't think they make that big of a statement. To me, it's like they're never a trend. They're never really out of style or in style, but actually I can think of one they were definitely out of style, which was like in middle school. In high school, we were wearing those like thick leather Abercrombie braided belts. Because I think I'll just say let it slide. Because it was not never a trend. Like cinched waists were the trends. Skinny belt was just like there because of a cinched waist. What I mean? So off to a great start. The next one is a halter neck. Do I really feel like these like really were trendy though? Honestly, no. To me, I'm thinking of it in like, I thought I lost my list. I'm thinking of it more of the like vintage dress kind of way. And I feel like my tier list feels wrong. I never talked about my tier list. Okay, so the bottom was never a trend. Like it was never in style. The next one would be a fad or like a micro trend. Then let it slide, which means sure, it's passing as a trend, but it's more just like an item. Next thing is it's in my closet, so I love it. And then the last one would be passed to my grandchildren, which like it's staying in my closet until the end of time. I'm so bad at making the little sides of what is what. That took me way too long. Okay, but a halter neck. Like this is in my closet and it's gonna be passed to my grandchildren. I just don't feel like it was a big trend. Why is that so scary? When a toddler toy just like randomly starts talking. It's talking in the other room. And she's not here. Okay, I'm gonna say it's in my closet. And honestly, it will be passed to my grandchildren, but I just don't think as a 2025 trend, it can be up there. But also, this was like a year ago I was talking about this. Maybe these were a lot trendier at the time. I'm leaving it there. We can change it at the end. I have to move faster. Prada sports boots. These are definitely still trendy, I think, and will only get trendier. And honestly, I still like them. See, this is hard too. Like to say anything is a fad that's come back feels more like a trend. But honestly, I'm gonna say the Prada sports boots are like a fad and they're gonna go out really quickly. The only thing that makes me second guess that, they're definitely taking a while to creep in, but I think they're just like a little bit weird. Maybe it will be like a tabby, a Maison Margiela tabby, where I feel like the first wave of people who started wearing tabbies in like the past 10 years, I'll say, because obviously tabbies have been around for way longer. The people who saw them were like, the people who had never seen them before and just didn't like them off the bat were like, those are the ugliest shoes I've ever seen. I feel like the Prada sports boot is kind of like that because they're kind of weird and it's gonna take like a long time to creep up. Do you think they'll go out of style? I think tabbies will go out of style again as well. It's just like how trends work. Okay, next thing, clogs. There's so many different kinds of clogs. I feel like this is kind of hard. Like I remember when clogs were in the last time, it was like the early 2000s because I had a light purple, almost clear pair with a wooden bottom and studs around all of it. And like, I think they're so cute and I do think they'll like come back in style, but I don't think I'd ever get rid of my clogs. Even if I don't wear them, they're just such like a cool and unique shoe. Honestly, I'm gonna say in my closet because they're like definitely a big trend. And I feel like I'm kind of getting confused about what I'm ranking. These were a huge trend in 2025. So thinking of that, they were a big trend and I'm keeping in my closet. The end. If honestly, it could go to past my grandchildren. It's true though. I have so many clogs. Okay, and like even a Boston Birkenstock, like that's a clog. And if I didn't wear mine to the ground, I'm sure my grandchildren would get them one day. Next is a bootcut jean. I have them in my closet, but I know that I'm not gonna wear them forever. It's a pretty big, I don't know. Like when I think of younger generations, they're definitely still wearing the wide leg jean. They're not wearing a boot cut. But I think for like 25 and older, maybe even like 20 and older. We've dabbled with the bootcut jean. I'm gonna say in my closet. I do think there will be a time where I'm not wearing them again because I think jeans are so fickle. Yeah, I feel fine with them there. I definitely wear them like when I'm going out with a pair of heels. There's a very specific way I need to style them. So it makes me like not want to put them that high because I wear my baggy jeans so much more often, but also I'm pregnant, so I'm only fitting in baggy jeans. Before we get into the other trends, I wanted to take a minute and say thank you so much to our sponsor, Squarespace. Squarespace is the perfect place to start your online presence, whether it's for blogging, business, portfolio. They have everything you need in one place and make it easy to succeed and stand out online. I've been using Squarespace since 2016 when I had to start my first portfolio for job hunting. It's super intimidating to start a website, and especially if you're somebody who doesn't have the design skill, Squarespace makes it so easy. It makes it so anyone can build a website that looks professional and fits with your brand or business. They offer a complete library of professionally designed websites and award-winning website templates with options for every use in every category. It's just drag and drop editing, beautiful styling options, no experience required. My Squarespace website started off as a portfolio, but it quickly transitioned into a blog and then even an online store. Whether you sell services, products, Squarespace gives you everything you need to grow and get paid all in one place. With easy online payments and built-in tools for inventory, shopping, and fulfillment, you can simplify your workflow and give customers a seamless shopping experience. If you're somebody who sells vintage online, can't recommend opening your own website on Squarespace rather than selling on a marketplace. It's so much more customizable and it just makes more sense. They also have expanded global shipping options, so you can automatically calculate shipping costs using real-time rates from local carriers based on destination, size, weight of each order. It eliminates manual calculations, avoids over or undercharging customers for shipping, which I know confuses me so bad. Squarespace just makes it easy. So if you guys want to check out Squarespace, or you haven't made your Squarespace website yet, especially if you're in college or you're going to start job hunting, get ahead. Do it now. Go to squarespace.com/LaineyOzark or use the link in the description box to get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain using code LaineyOzark. Thank you again to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. Let's get into the rest of it. Next, poncho. This video is going to be 1,000 years long. I feel like we see a lot of like cool girls on TikTok or Instagram wearing a poncho, but in real life I honestly never really see the poncho, and I kind of just feel like it's a fad. Like, it's really cute and they definitely came back. Fad feels like such a bad word. I just feel like we're gonna be done with the poncho in like 2 to 3 years. Not saying you have to be done or I have to be done. I'll probably still wear it like a swimsuit cover up. It's just impractical that I feel like a lot of people don't reach for it, because like, how do you wear a jacket over it? There's such a like window in time, at least being in like Michigan, where you can wear it. It's either like way too hot or way too cold. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be out fairly quickly. Not that that's a bad thing, that's fine. Keep your poncho. Okay, and then last is layering basics. This feels very 90s, very nostalgic. If you guys don't know, I'm having a little boy and I feel like this is gonna be my go-to style with him. I wear it a lot too. I'm gonna say in my closet, honestly, because I feel like this is a very big trend and it's still like creeping its way up a little bit. People are going to think that you have to buy them together when it hits like a certain demographic of yours. I mean, I'm a trend follower too, but you don't have to buy a shirt that's already connected. Like, you could have a long sleeve and a t-shirt. You have this in your closet. It'll always be in my closet. It's up there. I love a trend that's already in your closet, and it's just like wearing your clothes differently. Okay, we're on to summer trends. First thing is big beads. Big beads. Honestly, I feel like this didn't really stick around that long and also wasn't that big. But okay, I'm using a picture of a necklace, and I think of like beaded clothing. I think we'll see it again this summer. Like beads on clothing again. It feels very early 2000s, 90s. And considering we were talking about Y2K in 2020 and it's going to be 2026 and we're still looking at this kind of Y2K, maybe beaded clothes is more like 2010, because I definitely remember it a lot from my childhood. I mean, that's like 2005. That's Y2K. Okay, I think I'm just gonna say let it slide. Beads on clothes. I don't have anything with beads on clothes, so I don't think it deserves to go up, and I think beads on clothes is never going to be like a sign of the times. Like, you can always get away with it. Filet crochet or fillet crochet. I get so many people who tell me it's one and then they tell me it's the other on YouTube comments, so I'm gonna forever say it both ways. I can't trust any of you. Somebody's giving me the wrong information.
What is filet crochet?
Filet. I'm going off that one YouTube video. Filet. What do I feel about this? To me, it just gives like grandma core. You go in any grandma's house, they have filet crochet all over their house. I wouldn't look at it and be like, my grandma's so trendy. I would just be like, that's kind of time. Honestly, pass to my grandchildren. Having it say something like this one says angel, you can't read it, but it looks like it just says angel. It says angel. Having it in something super trendy, like what's the Frankie's Bikinis dress where it says lucky on the top? Like that's a very sign of the times, but if you're thrifting filet crochet or you're finding it from a smaller brand or, you know, just like a one-off piece, a handmade piece, it's definitely something that's going to last in your closet forever and could be passed down. I mean, it's like an art, these pieces. I love it. Or if you have it in table runners or placemats or a placemat made into a shirt, timeless. Next, I have to go faster. Backwards necklaces. Honestly, I wouldn't even count this as a trend. I feel like I really never saw it. I can't even find pictures of it, which is always a great sign. I think it's our first never a trend. It's just something I liked. Which, you know, I am guilty of doing that, saying things are trending because I just like them. It wasn't. It was never a trend. Does that mean you can't wear it? No. Does that mean it's not cute? No. Do the fad items mean that? No. Just wasn't a trend. It wasn't trending. It's cute and people wore it, but it didn't catch on like I thought it would. Bandana hem skirts and dresses are asymmetrical. I love this style, and I think it was trending. I think it was trending like a high-low skirt, and you know, one day we could look at it like it's a high-low skirt and be like, oh my god, why did we wear dresses with this hemline or whatever? But I do think it will always come back, and I honestly think I'd pass it to my grandchildren if it's a cool enough dress. Juliet veil. This is something that's more so for a wedding. And I'm not getting married. I think that this is something that like kids would look on at your wedding and they'd be like, why the heck did you wear a veil like that? Like that's so ugly. And then they turn 20 and they're like, my mom was so cool. She wore a Juliet veil. Definitely think they're trending for weddings. And honestly, it's timeless. Like you would look back on it and it's just, I think it's really pretty. But oh my god, wait, am I thinking of like flower crown now? I don't know, but flower crowns too, like a flower crown at your wedding. I think it's kind of cool. I like being really trendy with a wedding though. Like I think it's really cool to not do a super timeless look, because honestly, if you think you're being timeless, you're not. It's still trending somehow. So I think just to like play into trends and really be like, yeah, I got married in 2025 and you can tell because I wore that Juliet veil. I got married in 2016 and you can really tell because I wore a flower crown. We're already onto fall trends. Thank God. Now, since these are getting a little more recent, they won't feel as like jarring, I feel like. Okay, first one is a peep toe. So these are definitely very different than like a 2010 peep toe. I think they're really cute. They're almost a little bit more subtle. And honestly, like any heel I would get now or any like cool shoe like this, like I would pass them to my grandchildren, as a peep toe will always come back, even if they're like a little bit different renditions. Even like the very normal peep toe I think is still relevant right now. And I don't know, I think I was wearing a peep toe in like 2020 New Year's. I wore like a peep toe, a very thick chunky heel, and you know, if it's done right, it's done right, and you can wear them whenever. Basketball shorts. This feels like a fad, but it's something that like it's gonna be in your closet probably forever, because even if you're not wearing them in like a stylish way, you would still be wearing them like comfy to bed, whatever, it doesn't really matter. But honestly, they're gonna go in fad. That feels like the right place, especially the way that like to style basketball short. I still like them and I will still be wearing them this summer, especially this summer being postpartum. Thick boots and a midi skirt. I like love this look. I feel like I am gonna be biased. I'm gonna say in my closet. Like it's just cute and it's fashionable. You can't argue with it. Butter yellow leather. So butter yellow was such a big trend this 2025. And this like very specific butter yellow leather, I really like. I think butter yellow leather also, like, it's not that crazy. I definitely have it in my closet because I got these Tory Burch butter yellow heels that I'm so obsessed with. And like those will be passed to my grandchildren, but it's not just like butter yellow as a whole. I honestly think I would just say like let it slide, but I still do really, really like it. And done right, I'm gonna say in my closet, honestly. No, let it slide. Because I'm thinking of my Tory Burch shoes and like the Tory Burch stuff that's in this butter yellow. Those pieces are like past my grandchildren because they are also like cool pieces, silhouette wise, and you know, like the details of them, everything like that. But just like any butter yellow bag, like if I had that butter yellow bag in my closet, I'd be selling it. So I'm just gonna say let it slide. French Market baskets. You guys, I've never had a bad, oh my God, my pregnancy brain. I've never had a bad experience on Etsy. And I got a French Market bag on Etsy. They like never sent it to me. And I messaged them, I was like, hey, where's my French Market basket? And she was like, oh my gosh, like we'll send you a new one. She sent me the tracking and everything. This was in August. Still haven't gotten it. So I like reached out, I think maybe 2 months ago. And I looked again today to be like, what's happening? Like, can I file just like a report on Etsy? The whole entire website is gone. And I'm like, are you kidding me? Okay, a French Market basket. Past my grandchildren. It's literally so iconic, but so classic. A beach bag, a market bag. Like I'm wearing it as a purse right now, which I think is trendy, but I don't think the bag itself is like trendy in that sense. You get what I'm saying? Okay, next. Wrong purse theory. This is my own doing and I came up with it myself because it's definitely not a trend. I think that like wearing a clutch day to day is definitely a trend. Like wearing a big clutch in a casual way is definitely a trend. And I think of that as like the wrong purse series, what I'm talking about. Then I'm talking about also like a market basket in like a more day-to-day setting instead of at the beach or at the market. A basket in the winter. I'm gonna say in my closet because nobody has coined it as that term and no one's like also said that term. I just said that in my video. I do think that it was a trend and kind of is a big trend. Maybe not to the extent that I was like talking about, but whatever. To the top. I honestly think that this one could go into like past to my grandchildren. But again, I just love that it's something that you already had in your closet. It's a jacket, trench you already have in your closet, and it's just wearing it differently. Instead of leaving it loose and undone, you button it to the top, zipping your jacket all the way to the top. We know that I've been doing this for a while. I always talk about it on my channel, but it's past my grandchildren because it's literally just a jacket. Anything that you can just, it's either in my closet or past my grandchildren. I'm living and dying by button to the top. I've been doing it for too long because of anxiety issues. I have to be buttoned to the top. It's, it's a genetic disorder that's getting passed to my grandchildren. Okay, stop laughing at yourself. Ascots. They're so cute. Honestly, I think I'll say let it slide because I don't feel like it was a very big trend. And I don't think it's like fad level. Were they even a trend? Or was I just like being fed them on Pinterest? I mean, like people wear them, but I don't think it's trending. Honestly, it might be never a trend. And that doesn't mean that I'm gonna stop wearing my little ascot. I love my ascot. But I don't think it was ever a trend. Maybe it'll start getting bigger. Maybe I was too early. That's happened. Okay, we're on to winter. Fitted blazers. Winter's a little bit harder because it is winter. So these are things that I'm kind of seeing as trending. A fitted blazer, I do think will work for thinking like influencers or like New York fashion people. People like a lot more into fashion, I think will be wearing a fitted blazer. But then if you like work at like a corporate job or something, I'll probably say let it slide. I want to rank it too high because it hasn't been going on that long yet. Ostrich feathers. Something that like I just want in my closet and I just wanted in my closet and I wanted to be able to talk about it and purchase one so I could style it for you guys. It's probably, and to me it did feel a little relevant because of like Life of a Showgirl and Sabrina Carpenter, her like style, they're so big, right? And the way they dress, it's probably a fad though. The way that I have fad and I have all of these, whatever, they're all things I like. Hairy sweater. I've had one of these in like early 2000s. I'm pretty sure in my second grade photo for school or first grade, I'm wearing a hairy sweater. And people were like, oh, she just means brushed mohair. No, I don't. So don't put those words into my mouth. I know I put pictures of brushed mohair, but I mean like a hairy sweater. I mean hair. And I couldn't find any pictures of it. It's probably a fad, but I'm gonna say let it slide. No, I'll probably say fad. I don't know though. No, I'll say let it slide because I did wear it in second grade. Like it's gonna come back around in a very mainstream way than I think like a Prada sport boot. Pink, anytime it's like a color as general as that, it's like, sure, in my closet. I do think pink is trending though, but I won't put it that high because it's so broad and so too much stuff fits into that category. Color blocking is honestly just such a great style technique. I feel like a lot of people forget about because it feels really bold and really out there when it's not, especially if you're using the right tones and the right colors. I think it's just an amazing way to get dressed and pick out a new outfit. Honestly, past my grandchildren, color blocking is never out of style, in my opinion. I think there's trendy ways to do it and outdated ways to do it with using certain colors, silhouettes, whatever. But if it's stuff you already have in your closet, it's like my favorite ever. It's a timeless way of getting dressed. Winter skirts. Like, do I have to say anymore? Ask my grandchildren. I will be a grandma wearing a winter skirt. A winter skirt just means wearing a skirt and styling it for the winter. I just think it's trendy right now for people to wear skirts. Is it because I'm not in high school anymore? And I'm like, oh my God, you can wear a skirt in the winter, like a midi skirt or a maxi skirt. When in high school, if I wore a skirt in the winter, it was a mini skirt and it was with tights and it was to be dressed up for a funeral or something. So last one, actually, winter silk. Silk's already up there. And silk as a whole, past my grandchildren, even in the winter time. Is it practical in the winter? No, because if it gets wet and stuff, whatever, I'm still keeping it up there. That's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Remember to check out Squarespace. Let me know what you guys think of my list and if you would change the placement of something, but I'm happy with it. I love you guys absolutely most, and I'll see you in a few days. Bye.